Good evening, everyone. Welcome. If any visitors are on, have questions or comments, please leave a comment in the YouTube section or email us or call the office and we'll get back to you. May we have roll call, please?
Shoemaker,
Here.
Hofstadter,
Here.
Vaughn,
Here.
Khan,
Here.
Coffee,
Here.
Poland.
Here.
Thank you. May we have a motion to suspend the reading of the minutes?
Shoemaker, I so move.
Coffee, I second.
Shoemaker,
Aye.
Coffee,
Aye.
Poland,
Aye.
Khan,
Aye.
Vaughn,
Aye.
Hofstadter.
Aye.
Any additions or corrections to the minutes? Motion to pass.
So moved, Hofstadter.
Khan second.
Hofstadter,
Aye.
Khan,
Aye.
Coffee,
Aye.
Poland,
Aye.
Vaughn,
Aye.
Shoemaker.
Aye.
Thank you. Bill Resolution 2021-04. Are there any questions on the bills?
Karen, what period of time is this unemployment for that we're paying?
They are so far behind. That is, I don't remember the actual dates, but we've been twice now for him, and it's been 6 months each. And I think
Okay.
it should be really close to being done.
Okay. Good. Thank you.
So that is a whole year?
Yes,
Okay,
because it was extended.
okay.
Yep.
Any other questions? May you have a motion to pay the bills?
Make a motion, Khan.
Second, Vaughn.
Vaughn,
Aye.
Vaughn,
Aye.
Shoemaker,
Aye.
Hofstadter,
Aye.
Coffee,
Aye.
Poland.
Aye.
Thank you. Mr. Lay?
Hello,
Yes, do you have anything for us?
no report.
Thank you. Nate?
All right, first thing, design review board will meet next week, March 3rd, or I'm sorry. Yeah, that's next week, I guess. The progressive relaxation is a massage therapist, Tiffany Weber. She's moving in to 11 South Washington with Ingrid Renfrew. So her signage will be coming before the board. And then also Lori Ramsey has turned in her resignation from that board. So we have a vacancy there. Quite possibly a second vacancy as well. I'm not having much luck getting Mr. Young, Brent Young, to respond to me in anything. So I'm assuming he's no longer wanting to be involved. There's a couple different categories of members of that board. It's a council appointment. So I guess what I'm thinking is we open it up for 2, 3, 4 weeks, whatever you think. Take names of people that are interested and then bring them back to you for your consideration. Any thoughts on that?
I think that sounds good. I mean, maybe we'll get a response like we did for Airport Park.
Right.
A lot of people would have interest.
I could put something on our Facebook page announcing the vacancy, and we can, between that and this, getting word out there.
Do either one of those two fall under a specific category?
Well, yeah, there's one of the qualifications, and these aren't written in stone the way it's written. It says the board members should include, if at all possible, the following: a downtown building owner, village council member, planning and zoning board member, and 2 members of the community. who are preservation-related professionals such as architects, contractors, developers. So they both kind of filled the downtown building owner representation.
I have a couple of ideas for downtown building owners.
Okay, great. Yeah, talk to them, whoever, just help us out here, get the word out, and I think the best way to do it is get, if you guys want to put a time limit on it of, by the next meeting or by whatever meeting date, get names to us, and then we'll get those all to you guys for your consideration.
Okay.
Sounds fair?
Sounds good.
Sounds good.
Schaefer Johnson is finalizing the documents for the sidewalk and resurfacing project for this year. We are looking at bid opening date of March 26th. So that'll be coming up here. We'll get that advertised, hopefully get some good bids in and get that rolling. It's hard to think about right now with all the weather we've had, but it's right around the corner, and bring it on.
Yes.
The CRA agreement we had talked about previously for West Main Investments, Kaufman Realty. That's all been prepared. Thanks, Bob Hines, for all your help on that. The schools have been notified. They don't have to act on it since the proposed abatement is not over 50%. We just had to notify them about that. They've been notified. So at the March 8th meeting, that'll go to you guys for your first hearing. And then 2 Kimball items, I guess. Cleanup day. We've scheduled for April 24th from 8 to noon. Very typical, like we've done in years past. But new this year, if you remember, we talked about the shredding service. I talked to Karen, and she contacted our rep at Go Shred. Thank you. And so they're going to have a truck here from 9 to 11 on that day as well for document shredding service. I think that'll be pretty popular if I had to guess. So that's something new, and I think something a lot of people need. So, they were going to send her some more information on the specifics of that. I don't know if you've gotten anything yet, but
No, not yet. She said she'd probably get it out when I talked to her, she said in the next couple of weeks. So
okay.
soon.
So once we have that, Kimball also usually provides a rundown of what's accepted and what's not accepted. We'll get those posted on our social media as well, and hopefully have a good turnout. And then the other thing I had was the Kimball. I'd emailed you earlier today. Our Kimball rep contacted me to see they're starting to look at contract renewals. Our current contract would expire June 30th of this year. Do you have any thoughts on what you want to do with that at this point? Do you want to look at another? We have 2. I'm sorry. Yeah, we'd have 2 more extensions available, or you can look at rebidding the whole thing.
I think we've seen where the future is headed, so I'd be in favor of using both of, when the time comes, both extensions, because we probably are not going to get anything cheaper than that.
Well,
Yeah, the last time we asked for rebid, what we had was way, way better.
yeah, I think, if it's a decision you guys are going to have to make, that's going to be tough when that time comes, assuming you want to go that route. But if you remember, we bid that a couple different ways, with reduced service to try to keep price down, or with full service to go back to unlimited like we had, and those prices were just through the roof at that time. So yeah, there's options to look at as far as changing the scope of service to try to keep the price close to where we're at now. But that's a tough thing too, because people are used to the level of service they get now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Any other thoughts? And we don't need a formal decision at this point. They just wanted some indication of if that's the way we're leaning.
I think after seeing the numbers you submitted, like Mr. Hofstadter stated, I think we would just be best to extend the contract for another year at this point.
I believe that's all I had. Thank you.
Thank you. Karen,
Yeah, you should have received via email some documents that I received. I reached out to the Attorney General's office for delinquent tax collections. That's something that they provide now to any municipality. I sent these to Bob and he agrees with me that I think this would be very beneficial for the village. We currently have 27 delinquent accounts. And out of that 27, excuse me, there are probably a little more than half of those that have at least 2 years delinquency, maybe 3. Previously, I had taken cases to small claims court. We pay up front the filing fees. And then when we're at court, the judge typically would assess the taxpayer those filing fees. That doesn't necessarily mean we're going to get the money. And I've been through this enough to know that unless you keep going back to court, doing debtors exams, doing wage garnishments, if you can find where they work at that point, you're not going to get your money. So I think by doing this and the collections actually coming from the Ohio Attorney General, I think we may get some more, a little bit of push on that. I don't think it's fair to our current residents that are paying their taxes, are filing, to let these slide. I've tried my best and it's just not working anymore. Some of these are not, most of these are not related to 2019's taxes, which they would have filed in 2020. So you think maybe if it was a COVID related issue, they were laid off, whatever, that's not the case. There's 3 accounts out of all of these that were 19. So COVID is not the excuse on these. The majority of these just refuse to respond to me. I send notices out every month that shows the balance due, and I get absolutely no response. So I'm thinking this might be the way to go. The fees involved with the Ohio Attorney General it's a 10% of the balance that they owe. And that is assessed to the taxpayer. And that's the fee that the Ohio Attorney General keeps. So we would be getting our full tax amount back to us. I guess I just wanted to see what your guys' thoughts were on it. The Attorney General's office will send out statements, collection notices. They will collect for 150 days. Then they have an outsourced third party that's still confidential that will do it for an additional 180 days. And after that, they have special counsel within the Ohio Attorney General's office that will continue the collections for an additional 2 years. So we're looking at basically 4 years of trying to collect this. I don't think it's going to take that long because I think once they get notices from the Attorney General, I think they're going to take notice. They also have the ability to attach their state tax refunds. So what's council's thought on proceeding?
Karen, after reading through all this literature and the homework you've done, and I know you've done a great job over the years of trying to collect this money, and I think that's very much appreciated by all of council. I think it'd be prudent for us to pursue this because, as you stated, it's not fair to the tax-paying residents that are making the payments that a few do not pay.
I can tell you from a legal standpoint, getting a judgment is the easy part. It's collecting on the judgment that is difficult. And it's a whole area of the law that's very specialized. And there are all kinds of tricks of the trade that I don't know. But I'm sure that the Attorney General's office does. And so plus they have the clout of the Attorney General's office. So I definitely think this is a good way to go.
I think having the added collection avenues that the state would have versus just us would probably up the odds of getting money back. So I think it's a great idea as well, especially since they're not charging us for it. That's the amazing thing to me, is that they aren't set up and that they aren't going to take a cut out of something that they collect like most collection agencies would.
Well, and they have the manpower to take care of this, even if it goes past the, 340 days or whatever, then, their internal people will take care of this. And I think that takes a load off of you, Karen, because especially during income tax season, you do not have the time to be doing this every single month.
Yeah, and it's gonna, I know it sounds trivial, but it's gonna save us postage, my time, letters that go out every month, because once they're turned over to them, I don't have to send any of that anymore. Payments will be made directly to them, to the Ohio Attorney General. Then they will send us weekly payments with a listing of who has paid, so that I can post that. So I don't know, I just think it looks like a win-win for all of us.
And Karen, you and I had spoken about this a little bit. Could you talk a little bit about the cost saving on the other side, on the taxpayer side?
Correct. If we file in small claims, I believe the filing fee is about $50 for single, and I think it's $75 for a joint account. So that would be assessed typically by the judge onto the taxpayer. So there's an additional $50 to $75 right off the bat on top of their tax bill. Then if they show up for court, we do a debtor's exam, and that's another, I think, $15 or $20. That would be assessed to them. So with the fee that the Attorney General assesses is 10%. So if they owe $200, it's $20 through the Ohio Attorney General. If I would take them to court, they could possibly be looking at $75 to $100 in fees. So in that aspect, if you're not going to pay your tax bill, it's going to be cheaper for me to send you to the Ohio Attorney General's office.
You need a motion to that effect, Karen?
Yeah, because there is some paperwork that's going to be signed by, I have to sign the agreement. So I guess approval for me to sign the agreements. And then there also is some exhibits that needs 3 council members' signatures. So if you go forward with this, I can get paperwork to at least 3 of you to documents.
I'll make that motion, Karen.
I'll second it, Hofstadter.
Aye.
Hofstadter,
Aye.
Shoemaker,
Aye.
Vaughn,
Aye.
Coffee,
Aye.
Vaughn,
I said aye earlier, and I guess I was wrong. Aye again.
thank you.
You're welcome.
Mr. Hines,
I have a very short item to bring up in executive session.
okay, thank you. We have no legislation tonight. Do we have any committee reports? Old business.
I want to bring up about the webinar that Karen Cool, Nate and I sat through a couple weeks ago. I see, these webinars could be very, very beneficial to us. One thing I did see was rural industrial park development, that there's grants available for that. And many other things. Actually, every department should have sat through that webinar. A little boring, but yet very informative. It would almost take a full-time person to, look at these grants that are available. So I just want to leave that note with everybody.
Thank you. Any new business?
I have some new business. It's kind of like a public service announcement. The Ohio Department of Job and Family Services has been sending out a lot of paperwork to people in our county and in our village. And it is, PIN numbers or account passwords that are being sent to people that are not unemployed. And I just want people to know that that is because somebody is using your identity to collect unemployment. So if you receive something like that and you didn't ask for it, or you're employed, please contact the Ohio Department of Job and Family Services, because they'll just continue collecting money in your name and you won't know about it until it comes time for your taxes to be due.
Someone stole my identity, and it was from Massachusetts. And the first thing I was told to do was file, a complaint with the police department, which I did with Jeff, and he took the information. So I think that's something else people should know too.
I received both of those, and I called down to the state house and told them that I have been employed for the past 22 years. And so they have marked my account, and now they said, if anything were to happen in the future, I would need to call if I'm unemployed, because they're going to go after whoever this is. But
Yeah.
We had 2 claims filed against the village for unemployment that were filed.
just please be aware and don't take it.
Yeah, we've had 2 claims with the village, 2 of our current employees that said they were filing for unemployment. They were working, they have been working. There is on ODJFS website, there is a fraud reporting system on there now. Anyone that gets any paperwork can also go on there and do that too. So.
All right, thank you for all that valuable information. Any other new business?
I just wanted to let you know there was one comment on the YouTube channel from Historic Downtown Millersburg. And it says, the merchants thank the village for the street cleaning. Just wanted to, good reminder for me. I wanted to thank the guys as well for taking care of that this morning. And also.
And Councilman Hofstadter, I saw him.
Yep, and Councilman Hofstadter was there. But just a reminder, it's probably late in the season for this, hopefully. Let's hope we don't need to do this, but reminder to all the merchants and everybody, keep your sidewalks cleared best you can. It's just safer for everybody that way. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Any other new business? If not, may I have motion to go into executive session to confer with the public body's attorney for the purpose of considering disputes of a court action, considering dispute is either pending or imminent.
Shoemaker, I will move.
Second, Hofstadter.
Shoemaker,
Aye.
Hofstadter,
Aye.
Vaughn,
Aye.
Poland,
Aye.
Coffee,
I
Han,